you struggle to make decisions, the addictive lifestyle versus the red road, you may feel so concerned about making the wrong choice that you don't make any choice at all, which means you will live your life by default rather than by design. Bill W. in 2019 calls this lifestyle a self-will run riot. But by doing this, you actually make a decision. You do make a decision. You decide not to choose any path or destination. So what happens is it's either by design or by default. And a lot of these live stream podcasts that we're trying to develop, like I'm trying to develop a online course, but that's a monumental task. We're supposed to have sharing circles. So my thought is that for now, we just combine the two because of the pandemic. We tried to have live sharing circles downtown, but it was a little bit of a monumental task, and because we had a place and everything, and but I guess the facilitators of the venue were freaking out. So I hope my audio is coming through. Seems to be on this. So the typical way of coming to a decision involves attempting to compare the future consequences of living a life free from addictions, and the choice with the best perceived result is considered the better option. But this method of making decisions has a lot of drawbacks. The first challenge lies in attempting to predict the future. Who would have ever thought that we would be in this time right now? So it's tough to have any real accuracy. If you were able to predict the future, you could have saw the financial crisis in 2008 coming, then we'd be all set. Really, this society is designed to hopefully teach individuals to be financially independent. So when I learned about the financial independent number, now it's before 2008, that's what I wanted for the Indigenous people of Canada, all across Canada, to be all financially independent. That's what I'm striving to. Like, I'm not okay, don't do as I do as I say type thing. I'm trying to do what I'm trying to share. And the only way to get to there is to get into recovery. And the only way to get into recovery is to make a decision. So if you want to remove indecision from your life, listen to this podcast. So up to this point, what has been the longest length of time you have lived in recovery? The second challenge is that the more important and serious we believe the issue to be, the more likely we are to become paralyzed. So that's what happens in our addiction. We become paralyzed. We don't make a decision. And by that, then what happens is that we become stuck. So ultimately, making decisions this way can be difficult. Indecision can feel paralyzing, but over time, external factors in your life will nudge you down a particular road, and your decision will have been made for you, whether it's by your family doctor, your family itself, various authorities, bodies such as the judicial system. The decision will be made for you, and that's by default, see. Or if you make the decision yourself, that's by design. So there's a better way through. The following steps might sound like a similar process. The differences are dramatic. Instead of looking at a long-term point in the future, try considering just the impact on your life and your well-being now. Right? Two simple questions to ask are, if I selected, how would it impact recovery, my life right now? Here's an example. Suppose you had a job that you didn't really care for, but the money was good and you didn't have to work very hard to get it, but you really wanted to be an alcohol and drug counselor, say, for example. Although this is not a very likely scenario, if you have lived a lifetime of addictive lifestyle, try to imagine the scenario if it could be possible, if it could possibly happen to you, because our experience indicates that it can indeed happen. It is possible. I know that from my experience. So the thought of teaching recovery to youth who are just starting their addictive ways has always appealed to you. You know, you see the youth on the downtown east side. It hurts your heart. You see the talent, the skills that they possibly have, and you want the best for them, but yet they are in their addictive lifestyle, and maybe they come to you already. So you see the youth who are just starting their addictive ways and always appeal to you, and you'd love making an impact on the future of our nation. So let's consider our questions. If I selected recovery as an option, what impact would that have on my life right now? What changes would I immediately experience? So one option is to stay addicted. I would feel trapped. I would feel very little hope that in the future I could have an enjoyable life. Another option is to become a counselor. I would feel hopeful about the future and excited at the prospects of spending my days possibly in a more enjoyable way, making a difference in our community, right? So now the correct choice is clear. In fact, you probably already truly know that the right choice for all your tough decisions. We tend to get stuck on the imaginary challenges that we believe are hiding behind the right option for us. So at the present moment, impact. When you look at only at the impact your choices have in the present moment, you get to the heart of the matter very quickly. The very fact that you're stuck to begin with and you can't make up your mind means that you're having a difficult time choosing one option over the other. So there's no obvious winner. Choose the option that's the most fulfilling to you. Are you fulfilled in seeking money for your addictions, then drinking, using drugs, recovering from negative consequences of your use, only to seek more money to support your habit, like a never-ending cycle? By taking the future out of the equation, simply making a decision, you can move forward and spend your energy taking action to make recovery work out the very best that you can. It is a more effective, enjoyable way to live. Try the method above on one decision to start addiction or recovery. Chances are good that you'll be happy with the results. Start with the smaller stuff. If you like the outcome, then tackle bigger items. Your life will never be the same. All our relations. So if you'd like to reach out to us, if you're having difficulties making a decision and you want to remove the indecision from your life, you could call us at or reach out to us at info@iwtscanada.org or visit our website www.iwtscanada.org, and you could click on the Book Now tab, and then that'll bring you to a separate page, and you click on the calendar. Click on free initial contact, and then click on the calendar, and then click on the times, and you'll be brought to. So I'll get notification. Those times that are selected are the times that I'm available on the day that I'm available, and we could do a video chat. All we want to do is help those individuals who are socially isolated, help those individuals who are struggling through the pandemic, because this is a serious, significant life change. And also we want to help those individuals who are going through tough times with, drug and fentanyl overdoses and everything. There's a lot of overdoses, a lot of life being lost. And what we want to do is help those individuals live a stressful, free life and make the decision to get into recovery as soon as possible. That's what, if you want to be financially independent in the big book, they say that spiritual success always comes before financial success. So if you want to be financially independent, we have to start with a spiritual independence. So that means that we need to get into active recovery. That means that we may need to make a decision. So if you're kind of like, in a sense, on the fence, do I get into recovery or not? Just take heart from this, what I talked about in this today, and how to remove indecision from your life. You could go back and review this podcast and this live stream. And if you'd like, you could hit subscribe or hit the like button. to this channel, and because we're going to have hopefully weekly online podcasts, and hopefully turn it into a sharing circle for individuals until we could get our actual course up and into the cloud, which we're slowly working on. But even doing this live stream itself is a monumental task, and doing the research, setting up all the equipment, and making sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, or T's are dotted and I's are crossed. I don't know. It is a monumental task, so to create an online course is something huge, but we're working on it slowly, getting our ducks in a row. And see, the decision first lies with us and me. So I don't say, okay, do this stuff, and then I do something different. I say, okay, let's try do this, and then I use myself as an example, and I do it myself. And so anyone says, well, that can't be done, then I could, in a sense, beg to differ and say, well, it might be possible. Like, I know recovery is possible, but if you decided you want what I have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. So it comes down to removing indecision from our life, making a decision, looking at the present moment, looking at the future consequences. If I get into recovery for the future generations, what'll happen? Because I love that line in Gladiator, says, friends, what we do in our life echoes in eternity. So if you stay in addictions, that's going to echo in eternity, in addictive lifestyle. But if you get into recovery, that's going to echo in eternity, all the way down through 7 generations of your family. If you want to have an impact, the emotional, mental, spiritual, physical impact on the 7th generation, get into recovery now. So that's all I had for today. It's a little bit longer, shorter, I can't tell. I don't see any times. So, yeah, my prayer for you is that if you're watching this, that the creators be able to touch you, touch your life, that and help you along with the decision. The decision's already there. All we need to do is follow that decision. And there's going to be difficulties and challenges that are going to be monumental. But some teachings say that the Creator will never give you something that you won't handle, and you're going to get to a point in your recovery where you're going to believe, I can't handle this. But just know that the Creator has always been there all along, and this is what He wants for you. And all we have to do is take up the decision for ourselves, follow the Creator, and pray that that one step will never end. You may stray far from it, but off the red road, and once you realize that you're out in left field, just have to realize, okay, who moved? What did I move, or did the Creator move? And chances are, because the Creator is almost like a solid rock, He's the same all forever, that you'll find out that you moved. And so once you realize that you're out in left field, if you're in addiction, that a decision has to be made. And once that decision is made, you'll start your healing journey. From that day forward, put one foot in front of the other and hope and pray that all the remaining steps of your life is in line with what the Creator had for you when He first created you. All my relations.